Welcome back to The Martini, a show that reveals best practices and on-set etiquette to get everyone home safe and sound and be creative on set. Most importantly, to get to the most important, The Martini. And I have Alex Mena, producer, director, line producer, and documentary filmmaker.
Yep.
Salute.
Salute.
All right. And I have over on the hot mic, I have Eric Matthews, director, producer, talent, magician. I'm hoping you do a magic trick before you. We got you got 1.8 episodes to get that done. All right. So last time we were talking about managing shoots on a tight schedule. And so what are some best practices that you have used to try and economize your schedule and get the shot sheet done?
Yeah, boy, that if there's one thing that is probably the bane of producers and directors, I think also. Well, no, let me just say producers is the adding shots, right? I mean, so like you've already got a full set of work. And then maybe it's the client, maybe it's the director who says, hey, if we do this. And so you got to kind of, at that point, I really think you got to push back and say, okay, we've got all this to do. We've got a lot of stuff to do. So what I always suggest is that we get the shots we need, right? And that's when you literally huddle up with the creative team and say, okay, if you're going to add stuff, we're going to have to lose stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the way it works, right? Because otherwise you're going to start going into overtime and then you're going to have to start paying the crew. And they don't want to do that. So basically you got to go up and say, okay, if we have 16 shots in the day and it takes a while to set up each shot, so you got to say some of this has got to go if you want to add some stuff, right? And that's the challenge is trying to get everything that you want. And so basically what you do is you say, okay, have we got the coverage? Have we got the close-ups? Have we got what we need? And then maybe at the end of the day, if we have time, we can add these extra shots in that you want, mm-hmm. right? And then at the end of the day, sometimes the client is tired. Maybe, sometimes the agency is tired and they do want to go home. And so we don't get those shots. And the crew's happy too because they don't have to go and tear it down later. But yeah, that's a constant challenge, I think, is that you have to balance what you can do, what's doable in a 10-hour day, and then plus people coming up and suggesting, while we're here, but they don't think about the fact that while we're here means the lighting's got to change and it's going to take 30 to 40 minutes to get that shot that they want to add, because they don't understand that's, and I think that's part of education, educating the client, the agency, that, hey, hold on, we got to get the day's work, and then we'll get the rest if we can. Right. Yeah. I think that's always a challenge.
That's the challenge.
Yep.
Yeah. And so what do you do though? I mean, because you line produce, and I know you're a documentary filmmaker. So what do you do to maximize your time with production, like with your crew and your resources?
Wow. I mean, I think the biggest thing is making sure that everybody has been on the tech scout that needs to be on the tech scout. So everybody knows their job the day, on the day of the work, that everyone shows up. They know, we know where we're going to park the trucks. We know where everything's going to go. And then it's a matter of just unloading and getting it all set up. I'm still astounded after all these years of the business. I'm still astounded that, let's just say you have a 7:00 call time, and by 7:45, you have a set inside. Say, let's inside of a house. By 7:45, 45 minutes after the call time, you have lights, you have cameras, you have the talent that's already been in makeup and where they're there. I mean, I'm still astounded at how professional these crews are. It just blows me away. And you're like, that's great. Now we're on schedule. Now let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Right.
What I started doing is, you mentioned tech scouts. is I was directing a series. It was an ongoing series. We did it for like 4 years, kind of like a 4 season kind of thing. And when we go on tech scouts, so the camera department would be there, the gaff department would be there. And instead of doing storyboards, right, the DP kind of played a character that was in the show. And the gaffer was a character in the show. I was a character that was in the, like, we represented them. And we would actually block out the space where we were going to film and also get buy-in, right? Get buy-in from the people who are in the shot. But this also became our storyboard. And that became part of my shot sheet distribution for the project. And, because I can't have the gaffer now come back at me and goes, well, we didn't talk about this. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, you're in the photo.
Yeah, right.
You're in the photo, and we talked it through and snapped the shot and said, okay, that's it. Right. And so that really became a big time saver for me, because now we're not messing with having to go through boarding. We're doing the tech scout with the characters and the people who are going to make it happen on the day of.
Right.
Their buy-in is in.
Well, and that, to me, that's also the fact that I don't see boards a lot anymore, because when you do the tech scout, you got your camera, and so the people are taking photos of how they, and I know
they
that
see it?
I know that Andrew has a app on his phone where he can actually dial in the different
Camera
focal
and lenses.
lengths. Yeah, focal lengths on the camera. Like
Yeah.
35 millimeter, or 50 millimeter, so on and so
I
forth.
have that app. What's
And
it
it's-
called?
Well, there's two. There's Artemis, and then another one called Cadridge,
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh, I don't have either.
Yeah,
But-
and those are wonderful
Cadridge
because
and Artemis
because
is
you can
also-
take the photo and have maybe one of the other persons on the tech scout stand in.
Yeah.
And you can say, this is what it's going to look like with
And you
a-
shoot it in
with
aspect
this.
ratio that you're
Yeah,
going to
the
film
whole
in.
thing.
Yeah.
That is such a time saver.
100%.
Then you send that out to the crew, and they're like looking at it, and they're going, "Oh, okay, this is our shot. This is our world that we're going to live in."
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that is so great. I love those things.
That is a good time saver. I mean, you can get
Absolutely.
everyone on the same page at the
Yep.
beginning of the day.
Yep.
The nice thing about that app is that you can actually you can create a storyboard out of the images.
Yes.
So you can take a still of someone standing in where the talent would be, but then you have all the metadata essentially of that shot. So you know what camera, what aspect ratio, the lens. You don't have the f-stop because that's sort of going to be different on the day, but you have an approximation of what that camera, those camera settings, and that lens, and you can even tell it specifically what lenses.
You're
You
right.
can tell is it Cook,
Angenieux.
Zeiss,
Wow.
you name it, whatever lens is, not
That's
just
cool.
this is a 24 or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's going to give you a pretty good, almost identical approximation
Yes.
of what.
And that
expect
alone
on
is
the
such a
day.
time saver, because I think that you get that and on the day of the tech scout,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes the tech scout, it might only be the day before, but maybe sometimes if you're lucky, it's
Yeah,
it's
please,
a couple of days.
for the record, for people that producers and out there, please don't do tech scouts the day before the shoot.
Correct. Give it at least 48
Please
hours.
Don't
Yeah.
do that. It's
Yeah.
almost pointless to do a tech scout the day before.
And Andrew sounds passionate about that.
No, I agree.
It's
I
one of
totally
my
agree.
biggest pet peeves. It
Oh,
drives
yeah.
me
You have no
freaking
time to-
insane.
You have no time to react to anything.
Because you're
tell-
like, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know where to park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here I am at
But I can't change anything at
I'm
this
at
point.
3:30 or 4 o'clock trying to reach
Yeah,
out to
like-
somebody
That's
to change
why
something.
you
Yeah.
do it 2 days before, so
week.
that
Yeah.
Depending
A
on
week.
if it's
Yeah.
a big show
Yeah.
and you got some specialty gear that's got to come in.
that's what I'm saying. If you order something, then you have that window
Yeah,
to actually
you-
get the equipment in, even if it's got to come out from overnight or something. Then you have that time to get it.
100%. Sometimes you have to have technicians come with it if you don't have anybody in the market
Absolutely.
to drive it.
Yeah, great.
Thank you, Andrew, for helping us understand managing shoots on a tight schedule.
Yes, it's important, right? I mean, that helps.
It 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everything impacts the productivity.
The more
of the crew.
preparation you have, the better, right?
Preparation and communication.
Yes.
I was raised with the
Communication.
expression of piss poor pre-production equals piss poor production.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
I don't know how to improve upon that. I wish I thought to sign off on that. But that will end the Martini.
All right.
On that note,
Thank you.
thank you, Andrew Red. Thank you, Alex Mena.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time, hopefully, on the Martini.